Hello, hello. I'm just gonna hang out here for a minute until people want to start joining in. Oh. Hello, hello. Drinking tea and whiskey today. That's my typical go-to. So, with me drinking some drinky drinks on top of doing this thing for the first time, this should be interesting, right? Okay. My hair is a complete mess. I'm in definite quarantine mode. And so this was something that I was going to be doing regardless, something that was going to get done. And I figured I might as well live stream it at the same time. So, and I'll leave this up afterwards as well. I don't know if anybody will join in, and right now I'm technically talking to myself, but we'll see how it goes, right? Okay. So one thing that I want to point out is that this is not an instructional video. This is something that I was going to be doing by myself regardless, okay? But I just figured why not just kind of live stream, and there's a lot of people at home right now doing nothing, and if they want to tune in, then all the better. And if you hear any background noise, I have my sliding glass door open right now. It's really kind of overcast, but the breeze is nice. So just kind of chilling. That's all we can really do right now, right? Is just kind of hang out. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and people will join in when they want to, I guess, right? So one thing I need to point out is I have already made modifications to my cabinet before. I have added LED buttons onto the system. These LED buttons right here are brand new. They light up just the same as the marquee will on the same system. Now, I wish I had a way of when I flipped on the system, then everything would light up, but I think that's additional electrical work that I'm just not familiar with myself. So we will figure that out at another point in time. But anyway, the instructional video that is online, which I highly suggest if you are looking for an instructional video, go check that one out for sure by DIY Retro Arcade, who I bought the upgrades from, the marquee and the buttons that I already installed as well. They will have a better showing of how everything should be done for sure. So one thing that they had done was they had taken off this side panel right here, which is basically the entire side of the machine, so that they could slide out this slanted piece in the back. So you have to take that out and then slide out that slanted piece. And since I have already had off the button console enough in the past, I think I can work the wiring from behind like that instead of dismantling and trying to reassemble everything. Because taking the panel off is way easier than taking the side off, if you know what I'm saying. So I've already unscrewed these pieces because I've had the panel off in the back. Kind of beat up the top of the screws a little bit, which when you're playing the arcade, the screws, if they're sharp, they will rub against you. So I got to file those down. Okay, so we got those off. And oh, my brother got me this Casey Jones mask. This is high quality PVC by Nika. And I thought about wearing this while I was doing the installation, but I didn't know if you'd A, be able to hear me, and B, I can't fit my glasses behind the mask. But also, it makes you look like a stupid, crazy psychopath. So I think that might be off-putting to some people. So there's that. And then look at these crazy guys. I actually got these. I forgot where I got these, but they are super creepy looking, and that's kind of what drew me to them. They look very abnormal for regular Ninja Turtles. So move those off to the side. Now, like I said, I already unscrewed the control panel itself. So one thing that you need to make note of is that when you pull off the control panel, there is a wire that goes straight up into the microchip, the chip that is planted behind this PVC screen, this not PVC, this lucite screen right here. And so before you pull too far or too fast, you want to gently remove this and unplug the cable. Otherwise, you damage that and you've screwed your whole machine pretty hard. So I'm gonna take this off. See, it's this little piece right here. And I have to unplug the additional electronics because of the LED buttons. Let me make sure I get that as well. Okay. So here's the console itself, and if you compare the buttons to other pictures, you'll see that they look a little bit different. I also added these bat handles as opposed to the ball handles that were on there, and these dust covers are 3D printed sewer lids that I got off of Etsy or eBay, one of the two. So there's that. We're going to set that off to the side now. Actually, I kept all the original stuff inside the cabinet. There's like a little shelf inside the cabinet. And so the handles themselves were like the little ball handles as opposed to the bat handles that I installed. And then here's the original buttons. You know, they're not clear. They're very matte colors. So so I'm hoping that just removing this piece right here, just removing the console, I don't have to remove the whole side. Now, there is one thing you'll have to do in order to kind of deface your console, and that is drill a hole right here where the marquee is going to overlay, because the electronics have to go inside the machine. And so they recommended a 3/8 hole, but I found that it wasn't going to be big enough unless I removed this side. So I went with about 1/2 inch hole because, let me show you. You're going to be feeding through pieces of electronics like that. That is square. That's about not quite 1/2 inch, but it's going to squeeze through just enough of that 1/2 inch hole. Now this is LED lights, which are technically, it's a string of LED lights which are technically going to illuminate the marquee. So and that's going to have to feed through in right here. Now that's my hope, is that all I have to do is feed the things through here, and then when it comes time, I can just go into the cabinet here and reach behind the screen and start putting things together back there. But we'll figure that out when we get to that point, I guess, right? Okay. So the first thing we have to do is we have to add our reflective background. Now that is this piece of tin foil right here. It's not really tin foil. It's just a reflective sort of paper, if you will. Now it peels off like a sticker. Now this is the part that's going to suck for me, okay? Because I peel it off, and you know, it's one of those things that as soon as it touches the background, it's stuck. Now the good thing about that though is it doesn't have to be perfectly flat. It's a reflective background. It doesn't matter how janky it looks, as long as it just kind of fills out the area that you need reflected. So we're going to give this a try. That's why I had to pre-drill this hole, because it's going to cover the hole, but then the electronics are going to have to go through this paper at the same time. So I'm kind of nervous about this part. So let's see how this goes, right? You know what, let me wipe that off a little bit real quick. It's all kind of a little bit dusty because I had to do some drilling. So cleaned it off as best I could, but okay. What do we got here? Yeah, looks like we'll have plenty of room to reach around back there and get the electronics that we need. All right. What am I looking at here? These are the other hookups. All right. Okay. Ooh, you know what? I wonder if we don't need, it came with this piece right here, but I already have these other two hookups right here. Interesting. All right. I'm sorry, I know you can't exactly see what I'm looking at here. So what was going to happen was the light was going to hook up to this piece right here, and then it was going to split to the power into the monitor with these two ends. These two ends right here. But from the electronics that I put in with the LED buttons, I already have two ends here that were left open. So Let's see. We'll have to see how this works out exactly. In the meantime, all right, let me put on this reflective piece of tinfoil that I'm scared I'm just going to completely mess up. All right, wish me luck. Here we go. And so that's why it doesn't matter if you deface this, because it's going to get covered up anyway. Now it just fits. Like, this piece of paper is just the size. So when you put it on, your edge of your tinfoil is going to want to be down just a little bit, because there's a border, a thick marquee border that's going to go on here that's going to cover up all that excess space anyway. So how's everybody doing? Thanks for joining me, by the way. I really appreciate it. All right. Yeah. Okay. This is either going to be amazing or I'm going to jank this up really hard. How do I want to... What? Okay, I mean, it's not perfectly on. You want to smooth it out as much as possible, but that doesn't suck. That's not bad. I wonder... I probably could have moved it over a little bit. I think I had it too much against the one side, but that's not bad. Let me find this hole here. Kind of poke my hole. Poke my hole through the foil, because that's where my electronics are eventually going to go through, right? Okay. Okay, not terrible. Not off to a bad start, I guess you could say. So next up we have the border itself. Now this piece right here is going to fit in right here. Okay, so I did well. See how much it covers up all the excess border? Like, you can't tell if I was off center or not, because all the reflective material is all very visible. So very good, very good. Okay, I'm happy with that then. Didn't mess it up as bad as I thought I would. So I'm going to, so this has some double sticky tape, not double sticky tape, some sticky tape on the back that you just peel these off. Now this is actually important that you kind of line it up, obviously, or else you're going to have a crooked looking marquee. This stuff isn't coming off very easy. All right. Come on. It's like little remnants keep sticking. All right. All right, one more. So in hindsight, I mean, looking at the way this is made, I mean, it's very well made, but at the same time, I don't think it's not anything that you couldn't manufacture at home if you had the proper resources as well. All right, so I'm going to line it up on the top first. Very cool. Okay, obviously got to apply a little bit of pressure to get all the points to stick proper. Okay, all right. That looks like something, right? That looks like it looks like something. Okay. Take a de-stressing drink here. I'm drinking tea and Jim Beam today in full quarantine mode. Look at my hair. Okay, now comes the light installation. Okay, so we've got the light pieces here. Now there is an extension piece that I set to the side that I'm looking for. Here it is. I got it. So the point of this long extension piece here, all right, is that it's going to have to feed through over they got speakers here. So that's why I had to drill up a little bit higher. It's going to have to feed through, go all the way past the speakers, and then down behind the monitor and all the other electronics as well. So you can buy them for like 20 bucks. So I wouldn't drill into it. Oh yeah. The thing is, you're going to be covering up this area anyway, so drilling into it doesn't really, I don't know. And I've seen the one-up arcade ones as well, and those are more of a light box situation, where this is more of a simple DIY layer on layer on layer situation. So yeah, I've definitely looked into those as well. But I bought this from DIY Retro Arcade, which I trust a lot, because that's who I bought my LED lights from as well. Brian Yost, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? So we're going to feed this guy in first. This guy is going to go in through here, and I'm just going to try and get it past the speakers, feed it all the way around. Let's see if I can get it to a point where I can feel it coming down the back. There it is. I already got it. There we go. And this guy's going to require a little bit of effort getting through there, because I made just big enough of a hole. Boom. There we go. Okay, so now this strip of LED lights right here. Right now I'm installing my light up marquee, man. So he might have already left. Sorry, Brian, if you already left, man. So this has a little ledge on the inside of it, little kind of gap between the silver part and the very outer edge of the border. And these lights have a sticky back to them. And so what you're going to do is you're going to line the inside of this all the way around. And they have a little like silver, or not silver, little scissor marks on the back here where you can cut them to the size. And I'm sure this is going to be a little bit excess, so I'm sure I'm going to have to trim off a little bit of something. So let's see how we want to start tucking this in. Now I think I'm going to kind of start from the hole as well, because otherwise I feel that there could be, since there's no reflective material there, there could be a bit of maybe a dark spot there. Maybe not. I'll start inside the edge of the marquee. And so you just got to kind of tuck that in. And you know what? Let me get something kind of pointy to kind of push those down in there. Here we go. And then, without trying to sever the circuit, be careful pushing these down in here. And it fits just perfect. It's real cool. Fits just perfect in there. Just kind of push it down. Come on, get down in there. You definitely want to make sure it's hidden by the border itself. All right. Thanks for being patient with me. I just want to make sure I do this right, because I don't feel that I get a second shot at this. If you pull it taut, it almost self-aligns inside there. It's just making sure that it's tucked in well enough. All right, getting close. All right, let me go get some scissors real quick. I should have grabbed those. I'll be right back. All right, getting close to the end here. Got my scissors. Get a little pokey thing. Get some final tucking in here. Nice. Past the wire a little bit. I might have to go double. I'd have to kind of double up the end of the light there. Trim off about there. And then tuck in the rest on that corner. There we go. There we go. There we go, guys. All right. Very nice. Okay, so next up is the plexiglass comes really well guarded. You just peel these pieces off here. So you're going to have your marquee, your light marquee there, and then the plexiglass over the top. And then we just got to assemble some of the plugs on the inside of the machine here, and then we should be done. So let me grab my screws. Also, there's 4 divots here to screw into. They've already been pre-spaced, and we can just assemble right there. Let's see here. Add a screwdriver. I'm definitely going to use a screwdriver instead of my power drill, because I found that I've been scarring the top of these screws and they're not very pretty. So that looks like it'll fit right in there. All right. So I'm going to try and not to touch the actual plexiglass itself all that much. Hopefully this stuff on the top of it doesn't like leave a bunch of residue. It's definitely on there though. Definitely sticky. Oh, looks like it just started raining here. All right. There we go. Okay. This is definitely on here. Dang. It doesn't want to peel off very easily at all. But at least it's protected, I guess. That's the benefit of it, right? That's the good part of it. All right. The paper itself is kind of gummy, which is weird. Come on. I guess you really got to dig your nails into it. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's looking good. Come on. One side, finally. See, and it's still left crap on here. Dang it. All right. Okay, I think we got it all. That's a barely see that. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice piece of plastic. This all comes as a kit. Did they have ones for other games? Yeah, they do actually. They do have ones for other games. Most of the super popular games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter was definitely the one that was on their instructional video. I don't know if they have one for Final Fight. You can definitely go on their website. I think it's DIYRetroArcade.com and see what they have. These LED buttons were super simple to install. And I can definitely guide you on an easier way of installing those if you ever want to put those on yourself. All right, so now plexiglass on the marquee itself. Grab a screw, kind of feed that through. Let's see. Put that in there a little bit like that. We'll do the top one over here. Just kind of line it up a bit. Nice. Nice. It's all coming together really, really well. I think I'm actually going to have to use the power drill to kind of dig into the marquee a little bit. But at least these are holding place right now. Okay. So, I mean, you can't really tell. The only thing that I noticed on the actual marquee itself is it doesn't say Nickelodeon like the other one does. And you get more of the sky up here. So they kind of cut it off down here to where the Nickelodeon symbol isn't on there, and kind of photoshopped a little extra on the top up here. But it's really well done. You can't tell. Unless you know what you're looking for, you know. Okay. All right. So the pieces are in there. Let me get my power drill. Had my power drill handy because I had to drill my hole into my top there. All right. Oh, that's the wrong bit. This one right here. There we go. Let me do these bottom ones first because my drill is going to hit right here on the edge. Okay. Almost. I gotta do those tops. I gotta finish them off with the screwdriver, but I already got them driven in pretty well, so it's not hard. Nice. Okay. You know what? I freaking forgot something. So on the back of this marquee here are two tiny little double-sided tapes that are going to adhere this bit. It doesn't really bother me, but I'm going to get some light leak up here otherwise. So let me take this freaking guy back off. Do you have any green? Yeah. I have the caps on my side. I don't know if you can see them. I got the caps on my sides over here. All right, so let me take this bit back off. That was my mistake. Just trying not to rush ahead. I watched the instructional video like 10 times to make sure I had everything down. Come on. pretty spot. Okay. All right. Put the screws together like that. Now, there's a little double-sided sticky tape right here. It's very thin. Just got to pull the covering off of this side. It's like super duper thin. So that way it doesn't indent on the marquee. There we go. All right, now this is a part where you definitely got to make sure you line it up all together, because the sticky tape is super sticky, and once it's stuck in there, it is stuck in there. That one there. There we go. And then, boom. Push it against it like that. All right. Let's put these screws back in. Yeah, along with the green screw caps, I also got the sewer lid covers, the dust covers. I saw that for years. You got the multicolored ones. I got the sewer lids. They're 3D printed. They're quality stuff. Screwing that in there. Okay. So here comes the wiring situation. Okay, so that is power. Let's try this. You know, I know I can't quite get the angle on it right now, but I'm just kind of connecting loose ends with loose ends, if you will. And that work like that. Let's see here. Oops. Yeah, okay. And then I still have some loose ends here for my control panel. All right. So that is all hooked up. I've got my control panel. I'm about to wire this back in as well. Thankfully, there is still a power hookup for it on the inside, so that when it all gets plugged in, it should all illuminate the same way. One thing I always kept forgetting was when I took off the control panel, the joysticks and buttons, that I've got to plug this one piece back into the back of the control board. It's just a simple in and out, simple click. There we go. Okay. Now I'm not gonna screw everything quite back into place yet, but I am going to turn it on and see what happens. Okay. So let me move that right there, so you can kind of get a better view. All right. Wish me luck. Boom! Not bad. Not bad, right? That looks pretty good. I know it can't quite focus on it quite well, but the buttons are all lit up and the marquee is lit. Looks good. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. I'm I'm pretty proud of myself considering that I've not messed with any of this stuff before. Now there is one final touch though, so that you don't see the edge of everything up here. They did come with these strips of tape. They had black and they had red, and I don't know why I chose red, but just for your information, in between the walls here is 17 and 3/4 inches, and they gave me about a 19-inch piece of tape, so I had to measure. I've already measured it, and I'm going to cut that. I'm not going to do it right this minute, but I'm going to measure it, and it's going to lay on top and cover that seal so that you can't notice that it's multiple layers of different things. They got one for the top and one for the bottom here that nobody ever sees. So I don't know if I'm too worried about the bottom because everyone's too tall to see under here anyway. But anyway, that's that. I actually gotta pull the control deck back off and put all the spare pieces back in there. All the balls and buttons that originally came with it. So that is that. Thank you for sitting here watching me not suck at it, you know. Yeah, to match the knobs. Oh yeah, when you're talking about your dust covers. Hey Mike, how you doing, man? Sorry you just joined in. I'm just about getting ready to finish up, but hey, check it out. I got the marquee all set up and lit. I'm sorry you can't get a better view of the lit up image, but I wired it together with the buttons, and it all comes together just fine. Now, one thing, Mike, that I was mentioning before is that if you get one of these and you do one of these DIY installations, the buttons and the marquee will stay on until the machine is unplugged, not just a simple turn off. So I turn that off and everything else still stays on. So that's something that'll have, maybe in the future I'll figure out a way to have a separate switch for the other electronics, but I'm not that handy with electrical stuff at the moment. But I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it looks legit. Looks legit, I'd say. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I will post pictures later on the Instagram and probably on the Marvelous TNG Facebook page, both Marvelous TNG. And I'll show you guys the final product once I get the bottom and the top and the bottom taped up properly. So thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. We'll be doing more of these live streams in the future. Trust me, I've got plenty of time on my hand now, so I might just do live streams and be doing menial stuff like organizing my comic book room, because I got a lot of comic books that I need to have put in place. And since I'm not getting any new comic books right now, I've got plenty of time to organize my existing comic books, if you know what I'm saying. But thanks, Mike. I appreciate it, man. It was actually not that hard. I think I stressed on it more than the actual effort it took to put it together. It's just layer on layer. It's actually really nice, but I'm really happy with it. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out, and you guys know how to get a hold of me. So I'll talk to you guys soon. My brother Randy, thanks so much. Poor Mike, thank you for being encouraging. I really appreciate that, dude. And I'll talk to you guys later.